So I was at the Ellensburg Rodeo a few months ago on my way into Phoenix, actually, from Seattle. And I ran into a major upset. I was at the carnival rides, and some of those rides require two people in order to safely operate, which is fine. What I don't like is the way they handle it. They basically put up a sign saying no single riders, and they don't even bother to match up riders with each other, right? If you think about it, a lot of people might go there with a group of three anyway, but now they're dissuaded from riding it. So I went up to the ride, and I asked if there's anybody to ride with me, and the ride attendant just had no idea what to do, and so I went to the ticket counter to ask them. Now, in an ideal world, in the past, they might have, I've gone to many fairs like that. In the past, they sometimes had a staff member ride with me, but obviously, here in 2022, that's a tough ask as well. And so I ended up, this is kind of embarrassing, but there was one ride I really wanted to ride. And I went up to the street where there were all sorts of other people, and I offered a homeless guy some money to pay for his ride and to offer him some money to ride with me, because I really wanted to ride that ride, and which is fine with me. I'm just not happy with the way the fair operated. Now, I came home to complain about this. I wrote to their customer service. I also called them. Now, I made the mistake, my first complaint, I made the mistake of telling the truth that I'm solosexual, and the guy laughed at me over the phone, which really insulted me. And so we got into a little bit of a shouting match. He didn't think solosexuality was a real thing. He told me to get over it, you'll meet somebody new someday. I don't want to meet somebody new. You don't seem to understand that. And I totally understand that the ride needs two people to be safely ridden. I said, in the long term, I would hope the ride would be redesigned, right? Certainly if you had a ride where for whatever reason people with a certain skin color could not ride, in the long term you would work to redesign that, right? If that were a possibility. I'm not sure if there is the possibility that a ride could be a problem for people of some skin color, but you get the idea, right? If you had a ride that certainly at the carnival you give all the instructions in both English and Spanish, right? There are a lot of Spanish-speaking people over in Ellensburg, and I use that as an example, right? You don't give all your instructions in one language that a group of people cannot understand, right? And so he still didn't understand that. All right, so we hung up the phone, and a week later I decided to complain again. This time I said that I had just broken up with a girl, and when I went to the carnival and discovered all these rides I couldn't ride, it added insult to injury. This one got them listening for some reason. And it just goes to show, I wish I had recorded those phone calls. I really do. I have the emails, but and documenting these two different complaint levels. See, it's one thing that they didn't listen to me, but to get differential treatment for these two camps bothered me even more. We'll give it a year. I hope to go back to that carnival next year. If I see the same situations, I'm thinking of suing them, not for money, but to get the word out there, right? Maybe I'll sue them for like $1 or something like that, just to get the word out there, because the last thing I want is to bury this stuff, right? And part of me thinks that the reason they don't want to match riders up is because of the society we live in, right? See, if they put two riders together and there ends up being a conflict of some sort, right? The two people get into a fight on the ride. Maybe the two people fall in love on the ride, but later on down the road there's a conflict of some sort. Then they're going to blame the carnival, right? It's much safer in today's environment to do nothing, because then those people only have themselves to blame, right? So by filing this lawsuit, it will show them that there are consequences to doing nothing as well, and they have to weigh the two sides, right? That's what I hope to accomplish. But hopefully by next year they'll have a better solution than that. I'm really hoping they do.